You've finished a big reset elimination protocol. You've eliminated all the red zone foods consistently for a while now. You were feeling great after the reset, but some time has passed and now you're not feeling your best again. What if you could start improving today with just one simple change? Instead of another huge effort and waiting another 30 days for answers, what if the conversation with your body could begin immediately, not after weeks of preparation and persistence? A month ago, I hit rock bottom again, despite eating cleaner than anyone I know. I couldn't remember the last time that I felt truly well. 6 months, a year, I'm honestly not sure. The difference this time, though, was that I wasn't starting from zero. I'd already done a lot of hard work, I'd eliminated red zone foods, and I had built a solid foundation. But I was stuck at 60% when I knew that I should be at 95%, and I know what 95% feels like. At the very least, I know that something needed to change, and I knew I wasn't far off. But something was clearly not right. Even though I was theoretically very close to my optimal, in practice, I was feeling miles away. I realized that it was time to iterate. After too many months of blaming my situation and external factors like stress, winter, a busy schedule, etc., it took me long enough to turn my attention inwards, but it finally dawned on me that even if those external challenges were justified, I needed and wanted to feel my best while I navigate them. I committed fully to a process of iterative improvement, and I would not stop. That was my commitment. I would not stop until I felt fantastic again. It was time for me to apply what I've come to call the create loop framework to my own situation. The create loop is part 2 of the body compass, the advanced practitioner's protocol. It's not an alternative to the big reset, it's the precision tool that we access through our foundational work. 6 components that create a continuous improvement system. In just a few weeks, I went from surviving, feeling less than 60%, not remembering the last time that I had felt really good, to quickly feeling myself again, operating at 95%. No huge effort or massive disruption, no massive amount of planning, just surgical precision built on previous experience. Now, let's be clear though, this protocol is not for beginners. The create loop requires 3 non-negotiables. First, you've completed at least one full 30-day reset. Second, you've been off all red zone foods for a minimum of 3 months. No exceptions. And third, you know very well what good feels like from your own personal past experience, from having gone through one of these protocols. If you can't check all 3 boxes, stop this video. Go back to the big reset episode. Do the foundational work. Without these prerequisites, the create loop won't work. Your sensors are still damaged, your inflammation is still high, you still get false signals and waste your time, and you don't actually know what you're aiming for. You cannot fine-tune a broken engine. You must rebuild first, then you can optimize. Think of it like this. The big reset transforms you from a rusted factory machine to a well-oiled vehicle. The create loop then continuously upgrades that vehicle into something exotic and powerful. And here's the beauty. You keep driving the whole time while you upgrade. No need to park in the garage for another month. When you complete the big reset, your senses become more sensitive. Your interoception becomes sharper, more refined. What someone drinking 2 liters of Coke daily wouldn't even notice. You feel from just one, maybe even half a glass of organic wine. It's easy to mistake this sensitivity for weakness, but it's actually the opposite. It's the sophistication of precise sensitivity. Like any sensor or monitoring instrument, the more sensitive it is, the more it can detect, the more it can help give you the information you need to make better decisions and evolve your nutrition with precision. It allows your body to give you immediate, crystal clear feedback. Many of those yellow zone foods you thought you could handle before, well, now you can actually sense their impact on your body much more acutely. And this is a lesson I'm still learning. This sensitivity, it evolves over time. Things that I wasn't noticing just not too long ago, I can now see much more clearly. When I was feeling miserable just a few weeks ago, even though I'd eliminated all red zone foods, I was still hooked on caffeine. Only organic coffee, I was telling myself. Then it became just organic green tea. But the trap with caffeine is that even small amounts of caffeine mask our natural energy so effectively. So our sensors and instruments have a much harder time determining our actual energy level. And energy is our most important metric. So we need to watch out for caffeine. Whether it's a full-blown allergy, an intolerance, or just something that doesn't sit right with your system, your body knows. And we're learning to listen. So now let's break down the create loop components. CREATE. Create starts with choose. And here's where most people get it wrong. Your cravings aren't the enemy. They're our own diagnostic gold. The foods you crave most intensely, well, those are often your biggest triggers. Not because you're weak, but because of simple biological reasons. These trigger foods create inflammation while simultaneously releasing endorphins in your brain. You get a brief high followed by chronic symptoms, an addiction-like cycle where you crave the very thing that's harming you. I've fought this battle for many years. Mental games around food, binge eating, obsession over the next snack, constantly reintroducing things that my palate craved but my body rejected. The breakthrough for me was when I stopped resisting cravings and started seeing them as clues. My biggest cravings a month ago, that afternoon coffee ritual, feta on my salads, honey in my tea, that so-called earned glass of wine. Every single one of them was undermining my baseline. Don't get me wrong, there's still space, there's always space for making the exception on a special occasion. Even using it as an excuse for a test so that you can monitor your body's response to this food clearly after not having had it for some time. But when we start to make a habit of things that our body is actually saying no to, that's a problem. When we're overriding the intelligence that's speaking to us clearly and contradicting it. Think of the dissonance that we have to live with. Now, here's your selection criteria. First, any foods that are causing obvious symptoms. Second would be what you crave most intensely but know is not medicine for you. And third would be to follow the yellow zone reintroduction hierarchy. There is the reintroduction and elimination order. One is the reverse of the other. If you look at the poster, you can see you should eliminate from what is most likely causing pro-inflammatory or allergenic responses and working your way to the least. Pick one and start with only one. This isn't about speed, it's about precision and fine-tuning. And the reason why one is genius is that you can start today. No meal preparation, no getting yourself mentally prepared, no kitchen purge, just remove the feta from tomorrow's salad. Your life continues and your improvement begins. And the reason why advanced practitioners have the advantage here is that we're not trying to overhaul our whole diet. We're removing one variable from an already clean system, from an already pretty well optimized diet, nutrition. And hopefully, if we do this right, we can choose the most impactful food to remove first. Think about that. When someone on a standard diet eliminates dairy, they're changing hundreds of variables. Cheese, milk, yogurt, plus all the hidden dairy in processed foods. And there's so many symptoms potentially coming from so many suspects that everything is just much more complicated and difficult to see clearly. While you, the advanced practitioner, you're removing the feta that you've started sneaking into your salad. One variable, crystal clear signal. And this is assuming you haven't started consuming all kinds of dairy, different kinds of foods. You know what your optimal nutrition is right now, and there's a handful of tweaks, and you want to figure out which one is the best place to start, the most impactful lever to pull. Everything else that's working, that just stays the same. Your successful breakfast routine, your go-to dinners, they all stay intact. You're not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. My protocol looked like this. Week 1, alcohol was out. Cold turkey, even 2 drinks. It wrecked my sleep for 2 to 3 nights. Week 2, dairy I also eliminated. Week 3, caffeine stepped down. Coffee, then to green tea, then to yerba mate, to nothing. Week 4, even natural sugars were out. The key? Hold everything else constant. This is what it looks like to leverage the scientific method to understand your own body. Track 4 symptoms daily: your energy, your clarity, recovery and digestion. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, keep it honest. Most people check after 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, but this is wrong. Real change takes time. And here's the timeline that actually works. In the first week, your body clears the inflammation day by day. By the end of the week, you will start feeling different. If this food was a trigger, the fog lifts, your energy returns, and your digestion starts to settle. But the key is not to judge it just yet. Day 14 is your examination point. 2 full weeks. I know I just mentioned I did this in 1 week, but I've done this many times. And this is what you can move towards as well, unless you have perfect clarity. I was feeling instant, immediate improvement. And so when I started removing a food, I did it for 7 days, felt its impact. And to make it progressively, instead of cutting out all 4 foods at once, it was more of a lever for my willpower instead of removing all 4 at once. That's why I staggered it over 4 weeks. But I immediately knew when removing each one that it was a benefit. So I didn't have to wait the full 14 days to reach certainty. But if you have any doubt about a food needing to be removed right now, you have to wait the full 14 days. And that's where you have the definitive data. So think about that. In the time it takes to complete one big reset, you could test 2 foods and have clear answers about both. And I mean, why 2 weeks? Well, because some improvements are subtle. They compound. What feels like 10% better on day 5 becomes 40% better by day 14. And your symptoms need to stabilize before you can test the next food. Like I said, if there is any uncertainty around your food or your testing. When it comes time to examine at the 2-week mark, there are 2 possible outcomes. First, you've experienced an improvement, even if it's subtle. Energy up, brain fog down, recovery improved, digestion has settled. This is a food that's definitely holding you back. Keep it removed and loop back to the first stage to choose your next target. The second possible outcome is that there was no obvious change. It doesn't mean that it's safe. All we can say is that it wasn't your biggest trigger. Mark it down so that you can retest it later, because your body might be dealing with the bigger problems first, so you don't know just yet. These are the foods that you will carefully reintroduce once you are back to baseline. In my most recent process, after eliminating caffeine completely, day 3 was rough. But by day 5, I had started to notice something. By day 7, I woke up with energy I hadn't felt in months. My energy. By day 14, I was a new man. Now here's the key. At this point in the process, we need to loop back to the choose step of our create loop. And we need to repeat the process with the next chosen elimination food. For example, if you eliminated dairy but the symptoms persist after 14 days, loop back to choose. Pick your next target, keep dairy out, stack the elimination. This is strategic stacking. Each elimination builds on the previous, and we are trying our best to eliminate the most likely triggers first. My progression looked like this. Week 1, when alcohol was out, my sleep improved subjectively and according to my Whoop. Week 3, I also eliminated dairy. My energy throughout the day improved, and so did my digestive symptoms. Week 5, after eliminating caffeine, my mental clarity stabilized. Waking up got easy, and my sleep felt deeper. When I removed the natural sugars, my energy felt even more stable and reliable throughout the day. I got these stacked compounding benefits from each change because I knew I needed to remove these things, or that I would get benefit from removing these things, because I know from experience. So that's why I proceeded without needing to wait and confirm. But I started to experience these benefits immediately. That's my personal story. And take note of that compounding effect. It's not 75% improvement. It's transformational change that compounds and builds over time. But equally important, with each successful elimination, we build our confidence. Small wins stacking into unshakable self-trust. You keep looping until you hit your optimal baseline, symptom-free and full capacity, for at least 3 to 5 days straight. That's when you know you're back online. But this is one of the reasons why this iterative protocol is tricky for someone who hasn't done a big reset yet. Because you're still unsure of what your baseline is, of how good you can feel. For me, 4 weeks, 4 eliminations, back to full capacity. Only after achieving a steady baseline, feeling like you are back to your best self, do you wait a little and then reintroduce any of the recently eliminated yellow zone foods. And this is where the precision pays off. Start with the foods that we mark to retest first. The ones that showed no benefit when you removed them a few weeks ago. 1 food, 6 days. On day 1, eat a small amount. On day 2, eat a normal serving. And on day 3, eat a larger portion. Then wait 72 hours. Keep a close eye on those same 4 metrics: energy, clarity, recovery, and digestion. If you have any reaction, then you have confirmed that it is currently a trigger. You'll need to remove it again indefinitely. If you don't have any reaction, then it's back on the menu, also indefinitely. You repeat this process with all the foods that you marked to retest, working from least allergenic to most allergenic. You can refer to the yellow zone hierarchy and the body compass poster. You are now building your personal food map based on your own direct experience, on your unique biology, not anyone else's rules. And most importantly, with each step of this process, you are strengthening your connection with your body. You are learning its different signals. You are becoming more sensitive and more understanding of these signals. You are learning to let your body's signs and signals lead the way. not just an idea or someone else's opinion or theory, or some averages from some population-wide research that had nothing to do with you. You are now becoming the expert of your own body. You are becoming the captain of your own ship. This is about achievable small steps, sustainable optimization, not perfect restriction. The 80-20 rule, strict 80% of the time, flexible when it serves your mission. Monthly challenges, test one confirmed trigger, see if your body's adapted. Quarterly reviews, full system assessment, what's working, what needs adjustment. Annual recalibration, your body changes, your sensitivity shift. Stay responsive, keep testing, stay curious. I tested dairy again, still a trigger, but now I know exactly what 2 pieces of feta will cost me, and sometimes the trade is worth it. And when I go to a special occasion, I can make targeted choices about what yellow zone foods are worth it for me to eat, or what I can use as an excuse to enjoy and also use as a test. That's the difference. You're not controlled by rules, you're informed by the data of your body's reality. As a reminder, side note, red zone foods are always off the table. No cheats on special occasions. They are toxic, they are addictive, and your body is worth too much to put it through that. I consider yellow zone foods that I'm not sure about, or which I know are triggers. I consider these to be my cheat meals. You know what the create loop really does? It transforms elimination from a monologue into a conversation. Most people just make decisions for their body without asking, no dairy, no sugar, no gluten. Then it's no wonder people don't have a productive relationship with their body. The create loop changes that. You choose what to remove based on your body's strongest signals. You remove it completely for 2 weeks. No exceptions. You honor your commitment. You listen closely to how your body responds. Your body speaks, energy shifts, pain changes, mood lifts, clarity improves, digestion settles. You adapt based on what your body tells you. You test carefully. Let me try 1 glass and see what happens. I promise to be honest with myself. And you evolve together. What should we explore next? It's that simple. You're not following rules anymore. You're having an actual back and forth conversation, interaction with your biology. Question, listen, act, repeat. This is the difference between following someone else's protocol and building your own. They're guessing or applying generic rules. You're having a direct conversation with your body. And once you master this conversation, your body becomes your most trusted advisor. It tells you what to eat, when to eat, how to recover. No apps, no tracking, no rules. Just clarity. 3 weeks of real conversation taught me more than 3 years of following any other person's advice. The create loop isn't just another elimination protocol. It's your evolution from passenger to pilot, from guessing to knowing. Use your cravings as diagnostic clues. Remove with single variable precision. Examine using the 72-hour rule. Adapt by looping and compounding. Test systematically from a clean baseline and evolve with data-driven flexibility. This is how advanced eaters optimize. Not through restriction and dependence on someone else's rules, but through precision and responding to the reality as it is. You can start this today. 1 food, no overwhelm, no preparation, just clarity. Your action now. If you've completed your big reset, Pick one yellow zone food you crave the most, just one. Eliminate it completely for 2 weeks. Track your energy, track your clarity, track your recovery daily. Don't overthink it. Don't eliminate 5 things. One food, 2 weeks, 4 metrics. Grab the Body Compass poster. It includes everything you need to run your first Create loop. Start today.